All right, welcome back. I'm going to share some of them with you, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people out there in the creative field, you know, have all struggled with. And it's something we've all heard before. I'm going to support you. I'll be there for you. I'll be your first client slash customer. I'll always have your back. And it always feels good to hear those things from the people that you know and love. But unfortunately, the reality is, when you do get started, those people won't be around. Now, when it comes to this, it's something that we all, as creatives, as people who start our own businesses, our own endeavors, we look to the people we're familiar with to support us in our endeavors. And if you've done this for a while, or you're starting to do this, you kind of understand what happens when people give you their verbal support, but financially, you know, or just, you know, any kind of way, they just do not find interest in supporting the thing that you do. I've even had the situation where I've been doing design work, and I've had friends that I've known and loved for years and years. I hire the people to do the design work, and I don't fault them for that. For this key important point, when you are engaging with somebody and you've known them for a long time, your friends, your family, there is always going to be a bit of complacency. You don't get as much respect as a professional because your friend might have seen you cry, or you had some emotional problems, or you maybe had job loss in the past. You could have had a number of situations that your friends and family were there to support you with, but in the back of their mind, they think that whatever they need to get done, that you may be unreliable for it. And that's like the major crux of what I want to talk about today. What to do when you're not getting support from your family and friends in the thing that you most love and would like to make a living doing. Throughout my entire career as a designer, I started doing this early on in like the early 2000s with my buddy. It didn't last that. We did like maybe 2 years, maybe 2 years. And then I started back up again about 5 years ago, 6 years ago. Throughout my entire time working as a freelancer, as a creative business, working as anybody, I do shirt designs, I do, anything that I found myself being creative in, those who knew me in my personal life were never there to support me. And I may be even guilty of this, actually. I'm pretty sure we're all guilty of the things that we experience. I'm sure that, at one point I probably had a friend who did was a mechanic or something. I went someplace else. I'm just making something in my head, but I'm pretty sure there's a scenario that fits very similarly. The thing is, when you're looking for your first clients, you naturally reach out to the people that are around you. And unfortunately, the reality of it is that familiarity is not going to be a great assistance to them helping you with your business or your endeavor. Out of my entire time doing this, the people that supported me the most have never met me in real life. We've had Discord calls, they've come by my stream, they see my work, and the work speaks for itself. And since I've gained, a little bit of reputation in the community, the online community, the design community, the gaming community, only then at that point, when I've reached, whatever, how many thousand people that are following me on these social platforms, will people reach out to me for work, and I'm there to work with them. I'm always there to help a friend out. I'm there to help them out. I let them know what I do. They've seen what I do because they're checking in with me much later in my career. When you tell them about what you charge a client or what they want, they balk at it immediately because they don't truly take you seriously as a creator, because they know you. And since they know you, they think that you aren't worth what you're worth. And that can be painful. But the bright side is, once you've gotten that out of the way, you can let people know, your friends, family, early on, like, okay, this is what I do. You go someplace else, I respect it. But I've had this happen when people go someplace else and they know who I am and they got their X, Y, and Z messed up by somebody they probably charged them a quarter of what I would charge. I'm like, I'm sorry, I can't fix this. I could charge what I was going to charge you before, but I can't sort this mess for you. And that's just for your own sanity. Now, I typically do not work with, I do not work with family. Friends, that's a different story, but I do not work with family. That's just my rule. But with friends, you can have this kind of relationship where you can kind of talk out what you want to do with your friends, and let them know what we can do and this is what it's going to cost. But just want to let you know that I've worked with I've worked with over a couple thousand people at this point in my career, and you have to realize that your fans are not your friends. The people who support you, in your creative endeavors, in your business, are not your friends. But strangely enough, they are there for you when your friends aren't. It's kind of funny how that works out. Throughout this entire time on the internet, and, kind of engaging with people, you kind of understand that people identify with your skill, your drive, and they can kind of see your vision a lot more clearly than your friends, because on social media and on the internet, your front-facing appearance is always there, and it doesn't show the cracks and creases of what a personal life looks like. Which, if you were to see somebody, get drunk, and or any kind of other compromising situation, you mentally are going to change your internal picture of how that person is. And you may think back to that, like, oh man, I saw Khan get drunk at, Guardian Con 2018, and he fell on a flight of stairs. I don't think I want him doing my motion design work. See? Even though, I could be the right person for the job. That familiarity kind of just, it crossed over into the professional realm, and it kind of hurt the situation. Except for this isn't my one-time situation. This is somebody you've known for years and years and years, people you've grown up with, people that are starting their own businesses, and unfortunately that's kind of like the name of the game. But you can, and you will, find your true fans out there, and you're going to find your true audience, because friends develop. Your audience will be there for you for the content you create. That production of content, that production of, of graphics, that production of TikToks, that production is what brings them closer to what you do as a creator. And then in turn, they get value. They show you value in return. Unlike friends and family who expect, I want a discount, I want X, Y, and Z. That can be the hardest thing to kind of break as or kind of get over, not break, it's kind of get over as a creator or as a designer or somebody in the creative field who is just starting out and expecting to get support, real support from your family and friends, and it's just not there. Don't feel bad. We all go through it. It's going to be okay. Just keep doing you. Keep producing the things you want to produce. Keep making the things you want to make. And if you just saw this past week, I launched a little side venture. Well, not a side venture. I launched a little, an idea I had brewing for, about a month. I think I told you about it before. I had a Doom mask on. It was the villain shit sticker designs. And I moved into making my first t-shirt to produce in home to screen print. it is not an IP that exists already, so it's not backed by, you know, any anime, any kind of thing like that. It's just an 80s, 90s like villain vibe, and people have known me over the years to produce things. They got behind it immediately, and you know, the first 50 pre-orders we had set up from people, like literal people. I maybe have met him like 3 or 4 people at conventions, but you know, I've gotten like close to 100 orders in the first week from people that I've never met before, for the most part. Shout out to everybody I met, you know, at a convention. Have only known me through my streams and YouTube videos. And no one I know physically in my vicinity as a friend or a family member has purchased one. And you have to be okay with that. You have to be okay with knowing that the thing that you love isn't going to be supported by the people around you, by the people you love. It's kind of a harsh fact, and if you do get the support, man, more power to you. That's the rare one. You hang on to those friends and family. But I just want to throw that out there. I want to kind of share that story with you guys, and from what I've heard from dozens and dozens of other creators over the years, is being okay with this fact of life is paramount to your sanity. So when you're not getting that support, keep it moving. Keep moving. I think there's a quote, I think in like the Old Testament is like a prophet is never respected in his own town. This shit's true, y'all. That shit's true. Alright? So go out there, keep making that shit. Thanks so much for the support in the first week and the pre-launch. I got the merch coming in next few days. I'm gonna be screen printing live probably late at night once my regular stream is done, so I don't keep, you know, piling on top of that. And yeah, keep fighting that good fight. And I'll see you next week.